The African Diaspora: How Africa Changed the World. Africa is not just a continent. It is a global force. From the Americas to Europe, from the Caribbean to Asia, the African diaspora has shaped the world in culture, politics, religion, music, and strength. This is the story of how African people were scattered, and how they rebuilt, resisted, and revolutionized everywhere they landed. This is the African diaspora. What is the African diaspora? The word diaspora means a scattered people living outside their homeland. The African diaspora refers to the tens of millions of Africans and their descendants around the world, some taken by force, others who migrated freely. It includes enslaved Africans sent to the Americas, traders who settled in the Middle East, and modern migrants who move for work, study, or safety. The African story is global and ongoing. The Atlantic slave trade. Between the 1500s and 1800s, over 12 million Africans were captured and sold as slaves. They were loaded onto ships, chained, starving, dying, and sent across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas. This was one of the greatest crimes in human history. In Brazil, the Caribbean, the US, and beyond, Africans became the engine of colonial economies. On sugar plantations, in cotton fields, and in mines, they suffered, but they also survived. Culture, language, and resistance never died. Resistance and revolt. Africans didn't just accept slavery, they fought back. From Haitian Revolution leader Toussaint Louverture to Maroon communities in Jamaica and Brazil, resistance was constant. In the US, revolts like Nat Turner's rebellion shook the slave system. These uprisings often led to brutal retaliation, but they lit the fire of freedom. Spirituals, coded songs, and oral traditions became tools of survival and rebellion. Building new cultures. Though torn from home, Africans created new cultures, blending African traditions with local influences. In the Caribbean, Creole languages were born. In Brazil, Candomblé and Capoeira blended African religion and martial arts. In the US, gospel, jazz, and blues grew from African rhythms. Across Latin America, African food, dance, and clothing reshaped national identities. This was not cultural loss, it was cultural evolution. Africans in the Middle East and Asia. While the Atlantic slave trade is well known, Africans were also taken east. In the Middle East, African slaves served in Arab societies, some even rose to power. In India, the Siddhis, Africans who arrived as soldiers and servants, created powerful communities. In China, African traders and travelers have a history that goes back over 1,000 years. The diaspora is older and wider than most people think. The diaspora and freedom movements. Africans abroad played a huge role in global liberation. In the US, leaders like Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, and W.E.B. Du Bois fought for black rights. In the Caribbean, Marcus Garvey promoted Pan-African unity. Diaspora voices supported independence movements in Africa itself. The shared pain of colonialism created global solidarity. Music, poetry, protest, and politics crossed oceans, binding black people together. African identity and Pan-Africanism. In the 20th century, many in the diaspora began reclaiming African identity. The idea of Pan-Africanism helped build pride in African roots. The Negritude movement in France, the Black consciousness movement in South Africa, and the Harlem Renaissance in the US all celebrated black culture. African independence inspired African Americans. And black pride inspired Africans too. Modern migration and the diaspora today. Today, millions of Africans live abroad, by choice, not chains. They are doctors, artists, engineers, athletes, and entrepreneurs. Cities like London, New York, Toronto, Paris, and Johannesburg are shaped by African talent. Social media, music platforms, and global events now connect Africans in real time. From Afrobeats to Nollywood, Africa is not just rising, it's global. The diaspora is still evolving, still building. The African diaspora is a story of pain, but also power. It proves that you can take a people from their land, but not their spirit. Africans reshaped every continent they touched through resistance, culture, and innovation. From the past to the present, the diaspora is proof of African greatness everywhere. Thank you for watching. If you believe the African story must be told boldly and truthfully, like this video and subscribe. What part of the diaspora inspires you most? Tell us in the comments. In the next episode, we'll explore Africa's natural wealth, from gold and diamonds to oil and rare earth minerals, and how it shapes today's world. See you there. Africa is not just history. It's the future.